Like, you know what I mean? There's so much value put on saving time, but in effect, this just questions the idea of the influence of time. Yeah, of course there's a huge influence of time in this bubble, but is this bubble all there is? Yeah, even though we're engaged completely, seemingly in it, are we of it? Yeah. You can't, nothing. Listen, I gave it a good shot. All my practices did not lead to this point. They didn't. They led to an emphasis of this point. Really, all the time I was going to the next goal or the next level or the next understanding, or like Esther or anything. These things were great, but then you'd have to sign up for the body seminar and these after ests and constantly esting to keep the thing alive, because it was almost on like life support. You know what I mean? It had a good idea, but it couldn't withstand the weekly grind of this dreaming. So you'd have to, all right, another intensive each week. It's sort of like,
Exhausting.
why would this, as it is, need an intensive? Why would it have to be given mouth-to-mouth resuscitation every week because you completely forget? You would think if it was solid, it would have its own legs after a while. Yeah, and it wouldn't demand attention, and it does not demand remembering. It does not demand that. It doesn't. How can you remember that which can't be forgotten? It's impossible. Yeah? All you need to do is see, how does an impossibility seem so possible? Because it travels across that bridge of seemingly. It's appearing to be possible to us. We're the only giver of possibility to impossible ideas. We're dreaming. Yeah? You can't get around it. If you wanted to combine all of our activity, all of the activities that comprise this place, the best package you could put it in is dreaming. I mean, not a dream, because that would be another thing, yeah, but dreaming and action and activity is not caused, yeah, nor can it be stopped, because it isn't actually happening. See, like the Course in Miracles, we used to use these interesting statements of an uncaused effect. Well, how could how could there be an effect without a cause? Yeah, pretty interesting idea. How can something that isn't so produce an effect? Or like we say in recovery, how can false evidence appear real? Yeah, it's an incredible autopsy. You know, how can false evidence appear real? It has to appear real to what's real. How could false evidence appear real and then not appear real? Like in a drop of the eyelid, something that was taken to be real for so long, suddenly, it doesn't take time, it just in a second is seen as unreal, like unbelievable. Yeah? You would think if it had 30 years of being real and all that momentum of being real, it would take a little while for the brake to catch hold and stop it, you know. All right, it'd be real, and then, oh, real, unreal. No, it's like real, and then unreal, like Zippo, like unbelievable. What does that tell you? There's a message in it. How could something... I remember I had this example. I did these talks at the dry dock. You have some people here. I did these talks at the dry dock, and 16 years of Monday nights, which is a lot of Monday nights. You figure 52 Mondays times 16, so that may be over 1,000 something Mondays. So, and at the exact same time, but I would be in totally different conditions most of those Monday nights as this, yeah? Sometimes I was waiting to hear if I had AIDS. Sometimes I had sinus infection. Sometimes I just realized and I'll go, hey, I have no money to pay the rent. Sometimes I said, oh, there's a warrant out for my arrest. Or some things would come that would cause like some concern, be it physical, circumstantial, emotional, mental. And the concerns seemed to be producing effects all day. Yeah, I was trying to do anything to get out of something, you know, fucking drinking something. If it wasn't beer, it would be Calistoga, but something, trying to just distract myself. And I'd walk into this meeting where I had a seat assignment, which was to share, and not share like 1 + 1 = 2, but, you know, go off the geometric, algebraic formulation, you know, just fucking entertain some possibilities that you don't go A, B = C, it would be A, F goes to Z, yeah? It's just and you'd watch the people like dogs hearing something unusual going, and fucking far out finally, because all week it's like, yes, yeah, no, yeah. But is pretty good, because you've thrown something in the works that hopefully does what? Shows that there works, you know what I mean? If what you as this always continuing solid unit can be disrupted so easily, you may not be that long-lasting, independent, separate, solid unit, which is the basis of all the narration of you being the doer, the thinker, and haver. So that's like the first gear that sets off all the rows of gears, yeah? So you throw this little thing in there, and what possibly happens? After the system charges back up, it's fucking pissed. You know, what the fuck? You know, I have all these years, or I've been doing this, you know, they usually go, that's why when I first started doing talks, I had to leave the town in less than 3 days, because they hear it, they really like it, then they think about it, then they come back fucking pissed. What? Because the way they saw it, it was invalidating all of this shit they had done. And that wasn't the point, but that's how it was received, really, literally. So, at least, so therefore, okay, these persistent conditions, you know, right till I get to the point, then the meaning starts, and they just evaporate, as if they were never so, because they weren't. That's the conclusion. If something that seems so real can seem so completely unreal, there must be a reality involved in that, but not in what you're calling real, but us. Yeah? I must be giving it the meaning it has, the meaning to really irritate me, and then suddenly, when those dogs were called off, yeah, the hunt was over. There was no fox, there's no this, there was no that. And then an hour or so later, after I did the talk, it's, all right, oh, that was such a great talk, or whatever, or people, fuck you, you know, waiting from the outside, you know, I've been meditating my whole life, fuck you, okay, calm down, you know, all right, so immediately, there I was again, and maybe, just maybe, usually it would be a new set of shit, but sometimes the old shit would just be trotted out, because it's like an old reliable, oh, I'm a loser or something, and then it's producing uncaused effects. Why? Because it's not true, but it's appearing to be true to us. The delivery of meaning is coming from here, not out here to us. You know, oh, you are fucking giving me a meaning. No. Yeah, it's coming from here out. I mean, wouldn't you think that would be a certain bit of value? Instead of thinking the in was out and the out was in, that it was corrected? So wait a minute. Because one thing that will drop is blame. The blame will not have the legs it's been given to be trotted out for 40, 50 fucking years. They won't. They just can't even get off the starting gate, you know? Because you've cut off the idea that anyone's ever done anything to you. Not as a skillful means, as a revelation. These things don't come from exerting skillful means. They come through, and then they attempt to express with whatever, how they're going to do it. But it's just like when you watch a saint. and the saint does all this stuff, and you want to be where the saint is, so you think, all right, I'm going to catalog everything the saint does and do it exactly like the saint does it, with the hopes it's going to get me to arrive at where the saint is. But the shit he's doing or she's doing isn't based on him or her arriving there. It's an expression of where they are, not a vehicle to get to where they are. It's an expression of where they are. And as soon as we hear it, we want to turn it into a path to arrive at, which they took none of those things they're fucking doing to arrive at where they are. It's the same thing with, how could you get over the fact you're awake right now? You're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. You may not want to be here, you may not want to be doing this and doing that, but we're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching without volition, yes? After a jam-packed day of seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, and touching, I'm exhausted seeing. I mean, my seeing is just on its last legs. You know, your eyes may be hurting, your ears, but not that which is seeing or hearing. And it doesn't demonstrate any effort or thought. It's not sweating it out, yeah? Why would you believe you could use thought and effort to arrive at somewhere that demonstrates no thought or effort? It just doesn't make any freaking logical sense. Yeah. And to believe that that which comes after, the idea of you, comes before, yet you have no volition over seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, basically. Yeah? If I'm looking out, my eyes are open, I'm looking out this way, I'm going to see what appears in the sky. I may have taken a vow, I'm never going to see a fucking seagull again. There he goes. Yeah, because I have no volition. Yeah? Why don't you see that the idea of being the one who's seeing comes after the seeing? Would you need any more investigation, or would you move on to the next possibility? You wouldn't have to send, what have I been seeing all this life? You just got the example. You got it, one example can do. Oh, I don't want to feel like that, but you felt it already. You see, that's why you have an opinion that you didn't want to feel it. You felt it first. The feeling, the noticing of the feeling occurs, then the idea of you. You think that's just 1 in a million opportunities? You caught it once? No, that's how it is. That which comes after implies it's before. You don't find that suspicious? I would like to check it out. Especially with that which is coming at me as the after isn't fucking particularly working. Yeah? Now I figured I've tried so many processes, spirituality, drug addiction, everything else like that, and the only one I gave 100% was drug addiction. But I believe I can apply the same results to drug addiction, from drug addiction to spiritual addiction, or for, becoming a corporate giant or whatever. I don't think I need to try every formulation of the same race, but I gave it 100%. I loved cocaine. I'd do anything for it. Even if it treated me shittily, which it did, I wouldn't leave it for anything. Stuff like that. And you know what? I was hoping it was going to take me out of something. And it didn't. Because you can't transcend an imaginary place. You are reality. How does it feel being correctly located? I think it produces an ease and comfort you can't do by going to the fucking gym for 4 hours. I don't. You can have 50 Thai massages, it's not going to lead to this. It's not going to happen. Because I was talking to Amelia this morning. You keep trying to apply, and you, I mean all of us, you, not Paul and me, I'm exempted. You is constantly trying to find a little relief to that which is inherently agitated. That's what addiction is. You're feeding something with relief with the hopes that it will stop, and it doesn't. Because its nature is agitation. It's based on the premise of Buddhism, where it says the Four Noble Truths. All right, what's the Four Noble Truths? Well, suffering. But suffering can be described as It's called dukkha, but it can be described like a malaise, a vague dissatisfaction, because basically you're demanding long-lasting results from that which doesn't last long. Yeah? It's basically Buddhism 101. You know, this place comes and goes, therefore it doesn't have what you're looking for. Because you're looking for that which doesn't come or go, but you are that which is looking for it. Yeah? You are that which doesn't come and go. All right, so the desire. Desire is the cause of all the suffering. Okay. So what is the basis of all desire? The mental state's desire to become and unbecome. The mental state desires to become a self, which it can't become. Yeah? And it desires to unbecome what it thinks it is, like a loser or unlovable or not enough or whatever, some weird thing it tags itself with. Yeah? So it's always in this movement, desiring to become, unbecome. It's like an eternal slinky, you know. The one movement causes the next movement, causes the next movement. So there's no rest, yeah? Because it can't, an unthwarted desire, there's no rest in it. You buy ice cream, it doesn't work. You watch Die Hard 8, it doesn't work. You fucking, nothing takes it. It's like a compulsiveness that agitates it, eats itself up, yeah? And you feed it with supposed solutions, and it spits it out and demands more. Because it says it beautifully in an old Zen statement. You can't use activity to produce stillness. That would be activity. So you can't use that which is agitated to find peace. That would be agitation. You don't need an 800-hour seminar on that. Just hear it. You've already had the 800-hour seminar called your life. You've had it all. Just like in AA it says, the first step is a reflection on what it was like before you got sober. So you see, hey, you were powerless over alcohol, not as some philosophical facet of some fucking 20-faceted diamond. No, your own fucking experience. I go out to have a good time and I'm at 850 Bryant. I'm arrested fucking every night. So something isn't working. So you just reflect on the situation and you come to a conclusion. Fuck, you know, I'm not managerial quality. And suddenly you're open to a solution. Yeah? So you don't need an 800 seminar. You have it called your life, called 2016 to 2017. You've seen it. Yeah? You've seen. You're trying to get out of that which you can't get out of. Because you've never been in it. You are not what the mental state is identifying you as. You're not. You go there, you see what you're not, instead of looking for what you are all fucking day from what you're not, you see what you're not. Yeah, you see it from what you are. And suddenly, the horse is in front of the cart. And once the horse is in front of the cart, it tells you it's always been this way. You've just been dreaming it was different. And so what happens? You keep dreaming, not you as the action. There's a keeping dreaming that the cart is in front of the horse, but you now know better. That doesn't have to be maintained because you're it. You're entertaining it as entertaining it. See? So now you know better. So it's just like the idea of the glove in the hand. Yeah? The hand forgets that it's the hand, and it takes itself to be the glove. So now everything it touches gets translated through the glove. If it's a coarse, fucking rough glove, everything feels coarse and rough. That's the interpretation. So what happens? You hear that, hey, it could be different, but you hear it as the glove. So now the glove gets caught in a second trap. It wants not to be a glove, but as a glove. It wants, why can't I be a silk fucking glove? Let's work on it. And there'll be people, other gloves will try to sell you on. Yes, if you work out hard enough, you can turn that rough glove into a soft glove. No, the message is to the hand. You describe to the hand what it's like to be a glove. And the hand goes, hey, I may not be that. You do not waste time describing to the glove It's not a glove because now it tries to be a non-glove as a glove. And that's mostly non-duality now. Correction's simple. When the correction occurs, it was never needed to happen. How beautiful of a correction is that? That whole idea of losing and finding is totally cut off. No matter how much you believe, I do this every day. I've lost my keys. They're right there. Oh, I found my keys. I didn't lose my keys. And therefore I didn't really even find them. They were right there all day. We had the perfect example one day here where we were doing the talk, and we had that story about the necklace and everything, and the lady thinks she's lost it. She gets all these people to look for her. Then she has the experience, she found it, though it had never left her neck. So in fact, being bummed out because she lost it was totally dreaming because she didn't lose it. And then being blissed out by finding it was total dreaming because she hadn't found it. It had never gone. So my friend was here. We went to the coffee shop. He left his truck here. It was a rundown jalopy, you know? And then we go to the coffee shop, and then he comes back here. Someone gives a ride. Hey, the truck's gone. Someone stole the truck. And the two people with him said, who would want to fucking steal that truck? No, someone stole the truck. And he pantomimed what would be like 80 years of spiritual seeking. Really. Then they call us up at the coffee. Craig lost the truck. And then John goes, no, Craig, you drove it over to the coffee shop. But you saw me drive by, got me in my car, and I took you to a coffee shop. Oh, I found the truck. But he hadn't lost the truck. But his whole story was, I lost it. And he's running around this neighborhood, who fucking stole my truck? Look here. But in fact, it was a misperception, yes? It was a mistake. As soon as it was corrected, did he ever lose his truck? No. Therefore, did he ever find his truck? No. Do you need 8,000 examples? Jesus Christ, you're like right on the edge. You don't need a gale force. It's just a little feather. Just fucking drop. Why not? See what happens instead of just fucking go. You really swear, because this can also start becoming like beating a dead horse. Now we enjoy each other's company, so it's fun. What is better than going to a Tupperware party? Unless you want Tupperware, this is good. But the point is, you don't have to hear this. After all, most people aren't listening here anymore anyway. They're just waiting to go to coffee, basically. Because they don't have anything to do this Saturday. I don't, so we're all here. Very lonely, desperate people, looking to feel like we bind with some other girl. So maybe that could be seen that way, who knows? But who gives a shit anyway? So, you know, but the point is, this is meant to be, it's sort of like, in recovery, if you're ready, when you come in, they don't spend tons of time sitting in a room going over. You've done all the homework, yeah? They just tell you, hey, you're fucked. You're not going to be able to unfuck yourself. And if you're open to that, here's a solution. They don't have, it's not like, oh, let's go over everything. No, you've done all the work, yeah? You have all the evidence, and these little triggers are just a trigger. All that evidence, instead of being seen from selfing, seen from mind, big mind. And then the mind goes, what? Hey, I may not be this little idea. I may not be this made-up center of the universe. I may not be a thing. You know, just maybe not. It doesn't, so it stops looking for no thing from a thing. It stops trying to convince the body it's not a body as the body. It just goes to itself and goes, I may not be that. And what happened with me when it was entertained that way? As soon as I saw it wasn't me, this whole pointing, yeah, the next possibility, I swear, in a nanosecond was I can be free from it. It was the first fucking right-directed entertaining I probably ever did, basically. I can be free from it. And as soon as I entertained that, it gave me a historical like movie reel of I've been trying to be free as it, through it, by it, for it, since I was 6 years old. It gave me the whole reel. It was like being in those old movies, the whole newsreel in a very short period of time, but just showed me the supposed mistake. Yeah, there was a possibility of freedom, but it's not through doing and having, and it's directed through time. That's not how it works. It's seeing you're not that which, you're not the doer and the haver, and you're not of time. That's how it works. So now the freedom becomes a possibility that's always available at all times, right where you are, with no requirement necessary, instead of a future possibility if I really arm up and start, purifying this and shit like that. Because basically, in every moment of you trying to know God, you'll be the emphasis, not God whatsoever, if you want to call God. You, as a knower of God, is getting the spotlight. Do you think it's going to change when you finally arrive at God? No, because you're never going to arrive at God. The movie is you, not God. Yeah, so this was magical for me, because I'll tell you, looking at this from this, there was a lot that, fuck. Man, I've been told since I was a young kid. I had a brother, an older brother. My mother must have said it 3,000 times. You're never going to be as good looking as your brother. That's how she used to work on me every fucking day. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Or if I came home and no one had called, she says, it's like you never existed, Paul. Oh, thanks, Mom. And then I start getting arrested badly. And then when I went to my friends' houses, I'd have to duck. Because if the parents saw me in the car, they wouldn't let their beloved son out. I was so happy when they got arrested without me, all these fucking jamokes, because I was the center of all their troubles. So it was like, and I was on the front page of the Rockville Center News Owl as a fucking convicted drug dealer. I didn't have a great attitude and outlook. I didn't, and I had an overworking head. And no matter how much I tried not believing it, I thought they were maybe right. I was bad and don't deserve much and stuff. So there was going to be a whole lot of work on this. And I don't believe it ever ends, really, because I think the mind makes shit up. So if you get through all your family of origin history in the earth, you'll make the family of origin from Mars. The head will make up new shit. So you'll constantly be occupied like Sisyphus pushing that fucking boulder up, never ending its chore. I think it's slavery. So now, for the first time in this life, the basic field of activity is in a cloud of acceptance. Yes? So I'm not being pushed like that fucking two-legged cow on the trough line, of time. I'm stopping, and looking around and just seeing what's happening. And there's a freedom in it, a freedom that's not provoked by action or doing or giving up or anything. It's just available if the mind's willing to entertain certain possibilities. Instead of entertaining from the identification, to see the identification. There you have it. Now, I'm not budging ever. There's no way, because there's no point to go anywhere. This is one thing I can say with complete conviction. I could be wrong, but I'll take my lumps if I am. With complete conviction, without this being clear, no matter how clear you get about everything else and be unclear about this, it doesn't fucking matter. All that clarity won't do a damn fucking thing if this isn't clear. It's a simple correction that never needed to be made. And then you'll see how many other dominoes will fall in this little story of us giving everything so much reality that we give it the ability to stop us from expressing what we are. Let's say love and peace and stuff like that. That we have to make up rules to get to ourselves. To allow ourselves to express, even for 10 minutes, usually demands a lot of fucking pomp and circumstances. Yeah, so. That's what time is like, right? That horn. Gotta get to the gym. Gotta get to the gym. Count those calories. It's like you can't never fucking find the alarm because you are the fucking alarm. What's that? It's fucking you. Will you shut that fucking thing off? You only know the problem from the solution. That's the only way you know it. You have no knowledge that has any value if you have knowledge of the problem, by the problem, through the problem. The knowledge about the problem comes from the solution. So self-knowledge avails us nothing, but knowledge of self avails us quite a lot. Yeah? It's just a switcheroo. Knowledge claimed by self will be neutered. Knowledge of self will allow, you'll see through that neutering. Yes? Yeah. When it gives you that stillborn baby, you'll breathe life into it instead of fucking taking it to be so. Yeah. So, hey, that's it. Any questions? No questions about Rockwell Santa involved with it. All right, well, we'll pass the basket, and then I'm going to get one. And then we'll...